Your life is probably filled with things that are no longer useful, even obstructive and energy draining. Have you ever wondered why you still carry them around? Stoic philosophy teaches that sometimes the most powerful action is not to make a big fuss, but to quietly let go of things that no longer serve you, freeing you from invisible constraints. Whose life are you living? It sounds like a simple question, but let's be honest. How many times have you wanted to do something and then stopped yourself because of what others might think? Fear of judgment. Fear of not being accepted. Fear of not being good enough. We grow up in a society that teaches us that other people's approval is the measure of our self-worth. And then little by little we begin to shape ourselves, living up to expectations, standards, and the eyes of others. But what is the price for that? Unfulfilled dreams. Decisions that don't come from the heart. A life without the feeling of being yourself. You may have thought, if I live my truth, people won't like me. But the truth is, no matter what you do, someone will still not like you. So why not live your life from the start? Why let someone else, who may not know you, dictate the direction of your life? Life is short, and no one else will live it for you. If you continue to live to please others, who will live it for you? True freedom begins when you stop looking for external approval. When you make decisions based not on fear but on what makes you happy. So the next time you feel afraid of what others will think, ask yourself, does this make me happy? If it does, that's the only reason you need. Have the courage to live your life. Not because others will like you more. Because you deserve a life that belongs to you. Not everyone is there for you. Sometimes the thing that drains you the most isn't work, it's not stress. It's a relationship you can't let go of. The conversations that make you feel small. The times you have to suppress your true feelings, just to keep the peace with someone who never really cares. That's when you know. This isn't connection. This is drain. Toxic relationships aren't just abusive or violent relationships. Sometimes they're subtle. Someone who always takes your feelings for granted. Someone who comes to you when they need you but is never there when you need them. Someone who makes you apologize for being true to yourself. And you stay because you think, I'm used to it. I don't want to upset anyone. I'm afraid of being alone. But ask yourself, staying in a relationship that makes you tired, is that really not lonely? Or are you trading your inner peace for something that is no longer healthy? You are not being selfish by choosing to move on. You are not being bad by putting yourself first. You are just learning to love yourself the right way. Peace does not come from trying to keep everyone else around. It comes when you have the courage to walk away from what hurts you. Because you deserve relationships where you can be yourself, where you are listened to, where love is not a fight but a place of healing. So if someone is constantly making you doubt your own worth, it's time to end it. Not because you don't love them anymore, but because you have started to love yourself more. The saboteurs don't always come from the outside. Sometimes, it's you, the one who hurts you the most silently. Not with big decisions, but with small habits repeated every day. Sleeping little but still playing on the phone until late at night. Saying yes when you want to say no. Comparing yourself to others and then feeling inferior. Eating carelessly, leaving your body tired. And worst of all, constantly telling yourself, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. Those seemingly small things are the last straw. Over time they erode your life energy, making you lose connection with yourself. But this is not the time to blame yourself. It's the time to realize and gently change. There's no need to transform immediately. You just need to start with mindfulness. Look directly at what's weighing you down and ask, is this helping me or dragging me down? Healing isn't a race. It's a daily journey. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Drink an extra glass of water. Say kind words to yourself. Turn off social media when you feel down. Remember, every small choice repeated over and over again shapes your life. And you can choose again at any time. You don't have to wait until everything falls apart to start changing. You just need to have the courage to love yourself a little more each day. Because in the end, what defines you isn't your past mistakes. It's how you choose to move forward from here. Are you tired of trying to control everything? Trying to plan perfectly? Worrying about things that haven't happened yet? Stressing about things not going your way? You're not alone. We all have a silent fear. Fear of losing control. Fear of an uncertain future. Fear that something will go wrong if we don't intervene. And so we cling. Cling to plans. Cling to expectations. Cling to things we can't change. But what's the truth? The more we try to control everything, the more we lose ourselves. Tired, anxious, helpless. Because life is inherently unpredictable. And no one can hold everything in their hands. So what happens if you let go a little? It's not abandonment, but accept there are things that are beyond your reach. Let go to feel light. Let go to not miss the present just because of worrying about the future. Let go to believe that no matter what happens, you will be okay. You don't need to know everything in advance. You just need to be fully present with what you have. Because sometimes, peace doesn't come from controlling everything, but from believing you will overcome even when things don't go as expected. Learning to let go is a journey, and you will stumble, but you will also grow. So today, try letting go of something you can't control, and feel your heart lighten a little. You don't need to hold on to everything to have a full life. You just need to learn to believe in yourself, in every situation. Are you living, or are you running toward a version of perfection that doesn't exist? Every day you wake up you feel like you're not enough, not good enough, not beautiful enough, not successful enough, not worthy enough. But the question is, who set those standards? And why do you believe you have to achieve them all, to be loved, to be recognized? We grow up in a world that worships perfection. Everything on social media is carefully edited. Every success is portrayed as an easy journey. And then you start comparing your real life to other people's highlights. You create an endless list of expectations. Always be positive. Always be productive. Do everything well, even when you're exhausted. But what you need to hear right now is, you don't have to be perfect to be valuable. You don't have to prove yourself every day. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to fail. You're allowed to not have all the answers. Because your worth isn't in your accomplishments, but in your true presence, with all your emotions, all your limitations, all your imperfect beauty. Freeing yourself from impossible expectations is how you begin to live authentically, more gently, more kindly, more fully. Sometimes the biggest step isn't moving forward, but in stopping and unburdening yourself. And then you'll realize, you don't need to be someone else. You just need to come back to yourself and start from there. Do you want to be right, or do you want peace? It sounds simple, but it's one of those questions that can change the way you live. How many times have you gotten into an argument simply because you can't accept that the other person doesn't understand you? How many times have you found yourself exhausted, trying to prove, I'm right, I'm not wrong? We often get caught up in the subtle trap of ego, where being right or wrong becomes a battle for victory, rather than an opportunity to understand each other better. And every time you need to be right, what are you giving up? Maybe a relationship, maybe a connection, or worse, your inner peace. The truth is, you don't have to win every argument. You don't have to prove that your point of view is the only right one. Because peace is not about controlling what others think. It's about letting go of your ego and keeping your heart. Letting go of the need to always be right doesn't make you weak. It sets you free. Free from anger, from stress, from the exhausting cycle of arguing and hurting. You can choose to be silent, not because you've lost, but because you understand. Nothing is worth losing your inner peace over. In the end, it's not about who's right or who's wrong. It's about, are you living in understanding, gentleness, and honesty with yourself? So the next time you find yourself defending yourself, stop for a moment and ask, is what I'm defending the truth or the ego? Because sometimes the strongest person is the one who dares to let go. When everything is so loud, can you still hear your inner voice? Your phone lights up. Notifications pop up. Another video, another post, another story, and then you're back in. The day goes by with hundreds of swipes, but you still feel empty. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack motivation. It's because you're being drained by digital noise. We live in a world that's never quiet. There's always something to watch, something to listen to, something to respond to. And slowly you forget what it's like to just be alone with yourself. When you're constantly pulled outward, you lose touch with your inner self. You stop listening to your feelings. You stop discerning what's truly important. And then you ask yourself, why do I feel tired, disoriented, even though I'm not doing anything too strenuous? It's time to turn down the noise, to live with clarity. No need to disappear from the digital world. Just be selective. Turn off unimportant notifications. Put your phone down when you eat, when you rest. Give yourself space. No noise, no updates, no comparisons. Because in those quiet moments, you can truly hear what you need. You can remember who you are and how you want to live. There is no connection more precious than the connection with yourself. And sometimes what you need is not more, but less. Less distraction. Less noise. Less chasing after things that don't nourish your soul. Give yourself silence. For it is in silence that you will find your deepest peace. What hurts you isn't always the reality. It's the story you tell yourself in your head. Have you ever had a bad day? Because a little comment left you thinking about it over and over again? A glance, you think they're judging you. An unanswered text, you believe they're avoiding you. No one ever taught us that. Not all thoughts are true. And yet we believe them. We believe that we're not good enough. We believe that we'll fail. We believe that no one really cares. Negative thoughts are like waves. Sudden, overwhelming, and overwhelming. But you're not the waves. You're the observer. And you have a choice. To believe or to question. The next time a negative thought pops up, don't believe it. Stop and ask, is this really true? What evidence is there for what I'm thinking? Can I see this differently? With just a few simple questions, you begin to take back control. You stop reacting automatically. You choose to respond with awareness and understanding. Your mind is a powerful place. And like any space, it needs to be cleaned, organized, and cared for. Don't let negative thoughts define you. Remember, they're just guests passing through, and you have the power not to invite them in. You can't stop every negative thought from coming, but you can learn to not let them control your life. And that's freedom. That's peace. That's you taking back control of your mind. Clutter isn't just on the outside, it's on your mind. Look around you. Do you find yourself living in a space that's filled with chaos? Disorganized furniture, cluttered papers. That every time you see it, you feel a little heavier? That's physical clutter, but the truth is, outside clutter can be a reflection of inside clutter. When your space is cluttered, your mind becomes cluttered too. Clearance is clouded, and you begin to feel like there's never enough time to do it all. This is called environmental dysregulation. When your environment becomes an invisible pressure, that affects your ability to think, focus, and feel. So how do you declutter? Start with the simple stuff. Get rid of unnecessary items. Declutter your living space. A clear space can lighten your mind. Every item organized, every corner cleared is a small step toward your peace. But decluttering is not just about getting rid of physical things. It is also about clearing your mind. Get rid of unnecessary thoughts, meaningless worries, and old worries. Ask yourself, is this really necessary in my life? If the answer is no, let it go. When you reduce clutter, you don't just create a clean space. You create a space for clarity. A space for you to think clearly. A space for you to fully experience what is important. Because life is not a race to accumulate more. It's a journey of learning to let go and live with what truly nourishes you. So today, start with a simple step. Clean up a small area of your space. And feel the lightness spread through your mind. Because when the space around you is refreshed, you will feel refreshed too. Comparison will only make you miserable, it will never make you happy. How many times have you looked at someone else's life and felt like you were lacking? A friend just got a promotion. Another person just bought a house, started a family, traveled all over the world. On social media, everyone seems to be living the perfect life. And then you look back at yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing? We live in a time where comparison has never been easier. Just a few seconds of scrolling through your phone, you see hundreds of reasons to feel like you're not good enough, not successful enough, not attractive enough. But the truth is, what you see is only the surface. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's best shot. And that's always unfair to you. Everyone's life is a unique journey. With different starting points, different speeds, different goals. No one is on the exact same path as you. So no one can be your standard for comparison. So why let someone else's journey dim your own light? Remember, some people blossom in their 20s. Some people don't find their true passion until their 40s. Both are worthy. Both are living authentically. Your worth is not in any ranking. It's in the patience you have with yourself. In the way you get up after every fall. In the things you strive for every day even when no one else sees. And most importantly, you don't need to be better than anyone else to be proud of yourself. You just need to become a better version of yourself, little by little, every day. So if you find yourself falling into a comparison spiral, stop, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, am I living my life, or am I living someone else's life? Return to yourself. Focus on the journey you're on. Acknowledge the small steps forward. Celebrate the quiet victories. And be grateful to yourself for continuing, for growing. Despite the hard days, the moments of doubt. You're not slow, you're not late, you're not behind. You're just walking your own path, your own way. And that is what's most rewarding.